And who are you?
I've met you before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, I got a memory tape. You can't remember where I put it.
Well, if you rewind it about 4 months.
What's your name?
Brian.
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah. If you rewind,
Been a
rewind it
while,
about
Doc.
Then how's come you
You
haven't
took
given me
a
a
couple
call?
months,
because
went out of town.
yeah. Well, I haven't been out of town. He has.
No, he has.
Oh, you've been out of town.
No.
We've been playing replays. No.
Right, because you were out of
Just
town.
on vacation, huh?
On vacation. Well, I don't know what you call that.
Well, it's actually working on my other business.
Okay, you want to have a seat? You want to sit for a minute? Kind of relax?
Yeah,
Take
what
the
time are
load
we
off?
on? What time? Two? Is that, what time?
That you're on?
Yeah.
1:30.
Oh,
Right now?
right.
Yeah,
right
coming
now.
up. Coming up.
Okay.
Doc, let me have a hug.
Oh, you throw me out? I was gonna sit
Oh,
down.
you can? Oh, good. I love it.
I
Definitely.
always like to hear your guest.
You know what? That's what I love about my
Kinda-
friend Doc. He's the
Kinda
best.
do it.
But you guys always teach me something.
I'll be right back. I want to see if.
When you stop learning, you stagnate.
Yeah.
So what do you do with the animals?
I don't do anything for animals. I do in-home care.
Oh, okay. I thought.
So,
Okay.
No,
Do
so-
you have something that you wanted to give to me, or?
well,
we
so
gonna
this
kinda
is
do-
just kind of what I'm thinking here. Okay. So I don't have this memorized. of course.
Don't memorize anything.
No.
Talk to me from your heart.
Right, so what I'm thinking here is creating care and tailoring, compassion and basically,
I gotcha.
and then we're talking about dementia and
Okay.
Alzheimer's and, you know,
Okay.
and then veterans. It's all basically the same thing, but
Okay,
what I
well, I'm gonna
have
have my
here-
own questions too. Is that okay?
yeah, so what I had is, like you basically would start here, talking about crafting care and
Okay.
tailoring you. So you would hit me with these and then we'll talk.
Okay. I got it.
I'm hoping that it's gonna work that way.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how you talk. If we
What did
need
you
a little
say
bit
to me
more.
that made me think that you was with animals.
No, so what Carol was telling you is we have 4 animal therapy dogs we use. We take them to the senior homes, we take them to our clients.
Okay.
So everything we do is we tailor your needs within your home.
Okay.
Our objective is to keep you in your home through the next chapter of life to the end of life.
Okay.
So we work with different organizations, hospice. And,
I was just gonna say, you're a high-class hospice.
well, I don't know if to say we're high class, but we do, what we specialize in is what other companies don't do.
Yeah.
When we tailor a packet for you for in-home care, we're not a la carte. You don't have to say, okay, I want this and I need that. We give you everything for that price.
Okay.
Unlike stay at home, place for mom, everything's a la carte. Your bill can go from $6,000 to $15,000 in 1 month. Everything's a la carte.
Oh, I thought you said it wasn't a la carte.
Ours isn't.
Oh, okay.
Our care is not.
What's your price?
So it all depends, right? So we started anywhere between, well, we just went up on prices, so we started about $42 an hour.
Okay.
So, and that's for a care provider. For a little less, for $38 an hour, most cases. That's a companion. That's just somebody that comes in and sits and talks with you, helps you with lunch and
I had one of those
dinner.
for my mom, 24 hours a day. It cost me 10 grand the first month.
Yeah, I was paying almost $20,000 a month for my mom and dad,
Yeah.
right here. And within 30 days, my dad was bedridden because they abused him.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I lost my dad in 7 months.
That's sad. Do you want those up on there?
No, I'm
Okay.
sorry. No. I just didn't want them to.
He's advertising for that.
Yeah, no, that's all I need.
Let me just see something really quickly. I don't know if I
Say by the.
So when we talk about specialized training and stuff in here too, I don't want to go into any schools or anything because I don't know what everybody's resume looks like either.
Are ready? Here we go, babe. We're on our way. Ready?
I'm ready.
Just get right up on that mic. So welcome back, everyone. Now listen up, everyone. What I love about my show is that there's so much great information here for everybody out there. And maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know. Tell them about something like this. Now, right now, I have with me Chris Hart. He's the owner of Hart2Hart Care, and I want to welcome you back to the show. The first thing I always have to ask everybody, and for them to know, is first a little bit about what you do. And I know that you specialize in something a little different than other people that when they hear about programs such as yours that you have. Please tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, thank you, Carol, for inviting me back out to the show. So as Carol was saying, I'm Hart2Hart Care. I'm Chris Hart, and just like it's spelled H-A-R-T. We started Hart2Hart Care back in November of 2020 because I was coming home to retire from the government, and I needed to take care of my father and my mother. And that's how we got really started, because we searched around trying to find a good place for my dad, because he had dementia and Alzheimer's. And we found out that basically by putting him in his own home and keeping him in his own home, providing care there, that was the best place for my dad. Mm-hmm. And so we just built a company from there, and that's what we specialize in, keeping you in your own home, in your own environment, in the comfort of your surroundings.
But you said before you came on, what makes you different is that you do tailoring compassion. What do you mean by that?
So every client is different. Everybody's needs are different. So what we do is I personally, me or my wife, we go out to the home and we evaluate the situation, make sure that your house is set up the way it needs to be to help you with the symptoms that you're having: dementia, Alzheimer's, just old age, general things that happen to us as we're getting older, right? So we go out there and evaluate you, and we tell you what we think would be good for you, and we listen to what you have to say, and then we tailor your needs to that. And that doesn't really affect the cost or anything. The cost is a cost that we give you. Unlike other companies, everything's a la carte. We're not. We give you one cost, and we provide you with that service, no matter what you need.
Now, when you work with people, are you valley-wide? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we are valley-wide. We'll pretty much go all the way to Tempe or Buckeye. Currently, we stay within about 30 miles of Scottsdale, but we'll go as far as Buckeye or the whole valley, basically.
And when you do this, it's an assessment. You have to come in and you have to kind of talk a little bit about, so you do a free consultation with them and see what their needs are and what they think, and what you might know or think might be quite different, right?
Right. Yeah, so we tailor every client's needs, and we go over it, we talk to the family, and the great thing about Hart2Hart Care is you get the same care provider every day, 7 days a week, 5 days a week. We like to get 20 hours minimum out of each client, but we're flexible too, because not everybody wants 20 hours. So maybe you need just 2 days a week, 5 hours each day, or 3 days a week. We work with our clients. So whatever your needs are, we try to accommodate you.
So it's custom care. They're telling me it's a tailorized care for you. And their phone number, I write this number down because, first of all, number one, everyone out there either has a family member that might need something like this, or somebody that might need something like this. And or this is the other thing, the holidays are upon us. You go out and you come in, and for Thanksgiving, you come in and you're like, wow, Mom's really changed. Something's wrong. I don't know what it is. Write the number down so that you have it and that you can call them and get them to help you to understand what they're going on and how they can help you. Keep them in their home as long as they can, because that is, like you said, if they can, the number one thing for people. If they can, it's the best thing to do. Their phone number is 602-815-4999. 4357. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau. Their website is Hart, H-A-R-T, the number 2, Hart, H-A-R-T, care.com. Today you wanted to kind of dive into dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. Okay, let's talk about that.
So, you know, at Hart2Hart Care, we, we specialize in dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson, and we want the families to feel comfortable that they're in good hands when they leave their loved ones with us.
Do you mind me doing this to you right now? You're gonna, I'm just gonna do it. We're right on air, okay? Can you tell a story of your father?
Sure.
Because you know what, why I say this to you, I know you hate me, but that's okay. The reason why is because you firsthand know what people need. And to be able, when you say to be able to know that you can count on them and that they're doing their job, this is something that means it does really hit home for you.
Yeah, so my father was diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's several years ago. Of course, I've lost my father since, but they have mood swings. They don't like things being changed on them. So my father was changing, chemistry in his brain was changing. He was forgetting things, and he's getting confused, and he would get upset and just take off on my mother. And we'd get a phone call from the police department or a neighbor saying, "Hey, we just saw your dad up on Railroad Avenue, 5 miles from the house." So I got a call from my uncle, his brother, while I was in Afghanistan deployed, and I was getting ready to go home and retire anyways, but asked if I could come home and take care of my dad. What we did not realize was how bad my dad was. His memory was gone. He couldn't find his way back home once he left. So we knew that he needed some type of care, and we looked for a facility, and we found a facility. We brought him up here in Arizona, but he wasn't happy there. My dad was walking and talking, he was in good shape, he really was. But he wanted out of the facility and asked if we could bring him home and take care of him. And of course, I love my dad very much, and I miss him to this day. So we brought him home, and we provided him 24/7 care. And he was happy. My mother and him were able to stay together until the day he passed away. So you don't realize what your family's going through until you've been there and you've done that. And dementia and Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, those are symptoms and diseases that they're hard to deal with by yourself. So you need someone to come in and help you. And that's where Hart2Hart Care comes in, because we understand, we've been there. We've had family, and you need help, and it doesn't cost anything to call us.
Then, and the other thing is that you make it so that it is tailorized compassion. This is what makes you different. Nothing is a la carte,
No.
right? And it's all, you sit down, you come up with a plan, you come up with a price, and that's your price. It's not like you're gonna have to add this or not. And you said that was something that you had to deal with, and a lot of people do. And you might start off with one price, and then all of a sudden start going up and up and up, and you don't do that.
No, we don't. We tell the families if they need help, we're there, no matter what it is.
Now, their phone number to call, and I would say to write this phone number down. It's 602-815-4357. They are valley-wide. They do free consultations. They want to sit down with you. And let me tell you how hard it is to try and do this on your own. I know you did, and that's what you got into because you had the passion for it. But not everybody does. And when you don't, it's not very easy, especially when, with your parent, that's really hard too, because your heart is invested into it, right? And so you may not be able to handle it like they can. Their phone number to call again is 602-815-4357. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau. Check them out on their website. It's Hart, H-A-R-T, the number 2, Hart, H-A-R-T, care.com. Hang tight, we'll be back in just a minute. So you okay that I did that to you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I wish I would have had a better story.
It's okay, you have a good story. Your own story is your good story. And then we're gonna go back to these two so that
Okay.
you can finish off, because it was a little short, so I needed to do something.
Right,
Okay?
yeah, I was trying not to be scriptive and I
That's
glanced
okay.
at it, so I
You're
got off
fine.
track.
You're okay.
I like what Doc said in his show. If you quit smoking, you could afford what you need to do and take care of your health. And healthcare is a lot like that. What do you need to give up to provide the level of care that you need and deserve? Whether it's drinking a case of soda every week, cigarettes. If you give something up, you'd be amazed how much money you could save to get what you really need, right? It's like going on vacation. You save for that. A lot of people don't put away for healthcare. Long-term health insurance, if you don't read the policies, there's a lot of different policies out there. I have a client right now that has been paying on a policy for 40 years. They pay her $17 a week towards her care, and she thought it was going to cover everything.
Oh,
It cost me more time, personal time, to process her paperwork with the insurance company, to write I'll say an essay to them every week for her little $17 a month. You've been paying on a policy for 40 years and you're getting $17 a month.
That's a good story too.
That is robbery. How do you sell a policy? Another story happened. My mother was sold a solar package in California on their properties. They said it was free. Come to find out, it's not free. So when my mom and dad had to sell everything they owned to get care, we had to pay off solar packages. They took, I want to say 20% of the profit from their houses. That's highway robbery. That is criminal.
Let me get in before you go back on it, but what is when a person stays in their own home, do you have the statistics of how much longer they live and how much better their health becomes?
Doc, no, I don't. Because I haven't been in business that long, but I am trying to figure out, and people are very stingy with information. You'd be amazed that people don't want to help other companies succeed.
But you bring up that people really love to stay in their own home.
Sure.
And when you take a person out of their home, it stresses
Oh,
them.
they're gone and much faster.
Yeah.
I know for a fact.
Well, yeah, I lost my dad in 7 months.
Here we go. Welcome back. I love the breaks as well here because we are live on Facebook and we end up talking to everybody because it's interesting how, especially for people who have already even been through something like this, and everybody wants to talk about it, right? Because some people have been burned, I should say. Highway robbery, you talk about that. People who have, I'm going to just talk about it for a second. People who have insurance policies that they've been paying on for years and years and years and think that, oh, well, when I, get older, I'm covered. They're going to take care of me, and come to find out that they're not getting very much at all.
No, you're right, Carol. I have clients that have long-term health insurance. And it costs me more time and paperwork to process their insurance policies every week than they get back. I have one client who's been paying on a policy for 40 years. And she literally gets back $17 a month off her policy she's been paying for 40 years.
She had no idea because she probably didn't understand. That's what happens. And you sign the paper and you think you're all covered, and now look what's happening to this woman. But what I know about you is I can guarantee you that you're taking care of her, for her to, as much as you can.
Oh yeah, she's wonderful. She's had the same care provider for a year. So our clients have stayed with us. So we haven't lost anybody, thank God. So she's very happy, but she still doesn't want more care. She's one of those customers that we tailored her needs to the amount of time she wanted. Instead of what she really needs. She actually needs more care. Not necessarily a care provider, but she needs somebody there to help her open up a bottle of water, microwave food, because she's in a lot of pain physically, and then it wears on her mentally as well. So we're always concerned about how she's doing when we're not there with her.
It's so sad, but you know what? Here's the thing. You also specialize because you walk the talk. You've been through it. You had your
Yes.
father who had dementia and Alzheimer's, right? You're going to talk a little bit about Parkinson's. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. And I want to talk a little bit about that and why it's so important that people can stay in their home as long as they can, as opposed to having to be a facility, a different facility.
Yeah. So as I stated before, we like to make sure that our clients stay in their home as long as possible, and that is our goal, to keep you in the comfort of your own home. And with like Parkinson's, it's a disease that it affects your motor functions, where you eventually can't eat. You can't put your food on a fork because you're shaking so bad. So we physically got to feed our clients or help them eat. So you won't get that in a facility. Those care providers, to me, don't spend the time or won't spend the time to take care of the customers. You're a number to them. Unlike Hart2Hart, you're a client, you're a family to us, and we treat you like that.
And that's what he means also about tailoring compassion. I love that. I love those words, the way that you use that, because I can't imagine that anyone wouldn't agree that everyone would want to stay in their homes as long as they can. And when you are in a situation where you're not well, right, and if you can be home, and the way that you have your caregivers are the ones that they get or the ones that they stick with, right, and you make them, you also bring happiness to their lives too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We not only are our care providers great, we also have 4 therapy dogs that we.
I'm so glad you're bringing it up.
Yeah, so our 4 dogs, we have 2 bully pits, 1 pocket bully pit, and 2 rescue puppies, and they are each have their own personalities, but they are all lovable, great dogs, and they bring smiles to everybody's faces. So whether we take them to the Veterans Hospital, VA, or to a client's house, we have clients that want to see them every day, and then occasionally we'll just show up to a client's house, and once one of the puppies get on the couch with them and cuddle with them, it's hard to take them home because they want to keep them, but yeah, that's a great thing about Hart2Hart is I don't know of another company that does what we do. We do walk the walk and talk the talk.
And they bring the dogs, which is so cool that they can do that, because animals, especially dogs, and they just make people feel better no matter what, right?
Yeah, so with my dad, I have pictures with my father with Bonnie and Clyde. Of course, those were our first 2 dogs, Bonnie and Clyde, and just with his Parkinson's and his dementia, Alzheimer's, that he was smiling and petting them and doing things that he doesn't do normally.
And he forgets about all that other stuff that's going on. And by the way, by him petting, by him using his motor skills and his brain and smiling, all of that is healthy too.
Right.
So there's purposes for it in every way. Again, write this number down. It could be something that you need now, and it could be something that you don't know when you need, because let me tell you something, folks. Sometimes you come in, you hadn't seen your parents for a little bit of a while, and all of a sudden you turn. It can happen. Turn around and very fastly. Is that a word? But very fast, and so you need to make sure that you are on top of it the best as possible. So again, this number is 602-815 4357. They do free consultations. They're valley-wide. They're rated with the Better Business Bureaus. They're one of the only ones, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to just say that now, that bring their dogs for therapy. It's love therapy. That number to call again is 602-815-4357. It's Hart, H-A-R-T, the number 2, Hart, H-A-R-T, care.com. Veterans, let's talk about them real quickly.
Wow, veterans.
You can't talk quickly, but let's go. Let's do it.
The Hart2Hart care, and our veterans are our life.
And by the way, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. Yeah, me and my wife both served over in Afghanistan in civilian capacity, but you know, when you work with the military, you've been around the military, and you've seen what these young kids and women have been through. It's amazing what our military really does. America is great, but when they come home and they need the VA, or they need people like Hart2Hart to come in and help them. You know, we talk about companion care, care providers. We provide a lot more than a lot of these companies. As I said before, we walk the walk and we talk the talk. We're there for you. We work with any client. We try to work within your budget. We have not turned anybody away. We have clients, like you were saying earlier in the show, that call us when they need to go on vacation to come in and take care of their loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
And we've built that relationship where the trust is there. We come in, we take care of them. We make sure when they're on vacation, we communicate with them. And when they come back, that they have that day to relax before they jump back in to have to take care of their loved ones. And,
That's nice.
you know, we're there at a drop of a dime. So, you know, we're very proud of our track record. We're very proud of the fact that, like our dogs, it doesn't cost anything for that compassionate, unconditional love to bring. And once you're with Hart2Hart Care, you're going to be with us for life.
And here's the thing too about this. When you work with other people, they have these, you know, it's like a menu item over here. If your regular price, and then, well, if you need this, we're going to add that. If you need this, we're going to add that, right? You do not do that. And I want you to get that out again for everybody to understand that it's all inclusive.
Yeah.
I'm calling it that.
Right. When you come to Hart2Hart Care, you know, we quote you a price. And it varies, but it is what it is at the end of the day. We don't tell you, well, hold it, your bill is due, and now it's a different price. You know ahead of time what your bill's going to be, and we stick to that. We don't wait until you're done and then hit you with a huge number and that you can't pay it. So we don't charge for anything extra. You know, we don't charge you for shaving you. We don't helping you bathe. That's all built up in that price. So, you know, like I said, it doesn't cost a thing to call us. You won't regret having us come out and talk to you. At least it'll give you some insight of what you're dealing with. With Hart2Hart Care, we are what we are. You get an owner-operator that comes out and sees you personally. My phone number is the one that you call. I answer it personally, or my wife, and we deal with it right then and there. We have had no dissatisfied customers.
There's nothing like compassion care, and that comes from your heart.
Definitely.
It's the way that you live. It's your name. You live it.
Well, you know, it's what's amazing is I didn't know this was going to be my calling after I retired. But, you know, I love my dad so much that when my uncle called me, you know, my sister had been taking care of my mom and dad for the longest, so I took over.
And they're the only ones, we think they're the only ones that also bring the dogs. And the dogs are the cutest things. They were here the last time they were on, and they were adorable, and they will help also make, there's nothing like dogs and pets that make them smile and make the day even better. Again, you want to call them direct and have that consultation. He says it doesn't cost anything. Give me a call, and that's what he wants you to do.
Sure.
And so he can help you and see how he can keep your loved ones at home and happier, and you're going to love that you did. That phone number is 602-815-4357. They do work valley-wide. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau. It's Hart, H-A-R-T, the number 2, Hart, H-A-R-T.com.
So I didn't get enough of the veteran out.
No, that's a good,
I got off on a tangent again.
On what?
Well, the veterans. I should have been able to. I think next time when I come back, Carol.
Did you like it at all?
Oh, I love it.
Okay,
I love it.
that's all that matters to me, number one. But are you okay? I know I took a little bit of your time, but
No,
I
I'll keep you
feel like
grounded.
your story, you know, it just kind of adds to it. You've been through this. When you say that I walk the talk, it was your father that had this disease and that you needed help. You weren't getting the help that you needed for him, and something terrible ended up happening.
Yeah.
You started your own company, and I would love to start the every one of them off that way, just so that they hear how, and the love in your heart happens to just exude.
and that's what really come through.
It did come
It
through
wasn't a sales thing.
at all.
No.
No, my story is actually in my pamphlet, and maybe that's what I'll do next time, Carol. I'll start out with that story, because we were just a number to them. You know, how much money can we get from this family? What I don't understand is how they stay in business. This was rated the #1 care facility in Arizona for 2021. My dad was bedridden in 30 days. My dad lost his ability to talk in 45
Yeah.
from them dropping him. Well, we really don't know. I think they hit my dad. I think they abused him, because the hospital said that he had little bleeders, that he didn't open his eyes for almost a month.
I've had my parents, both my parents, through that, and I was just lucky. I got my mom in a real good place.
Good timing.
But she had the insurance to pay $4,000 a month for her.
Doc, I tell you, you really look at
The suspect is being tried for Thursday. Wednesday's
So I'm gonna put this on there.
Two students at